A Melodramatic Tale by Brian Marsh. We invite you to come with us to a humble cottage in New England, USA. Queen Victoria is still on the throne in the Old England, also known as Great Britain, which is metaphorically and physically far away from Mettie Bradford's modest home, where the young woman paces nervously weeping and wringing her hands in anguish. A scant fire crackles in the hearth, which does little to combat the fierce storm outside. Oh, alas! Oh, alack! Alas and alack! I have never known what those two words mean, but they seemed so appropriate to the moment, a moment filled with dread and fear of what is about to happen. Oh, and I know the most terrible events will happen. They will descend upon me in the most crushing and soul-depleting ways known to mankind. It is my lot. All my life I have had to endure the painful sufferings of this mortal existence, a life bereft of the simple kindnesses sometimes granted to even the most destitute of residents on this impoverished globe. But all the goodness of life has been withheld from this your poor servant. Oh, poor Mettie Bradford, that you must endure such torment during this dead of a January winter, when the only creatures stirring have the most evil and vile intent in mind. Yes, I speak of that dastardly villain, one Lawyer Cribbs, who has sent word that he will extort January's rent from me, and if he fails to grasp his monetary desires, he has threatened to turn me out from my dear home, casting me into the storm, where for want of a simple woolen coat I must surely expire. Oh, that God has seen fit to permit such villainous creatures to walk upon the earth and torment those who have, through no fault of their own, suffered the most treacherous of all tempestuous calamities. I see that the snow falls harder still. No one dare traverse the ice-stabbed landscape in such a dark and dangerous storm. Not even the vile Lawyer Cribbs will venture about in such death-inducing climactic wickedness. I have, I pray, been spared another day in which I may tend my hearth and prepare my meagre gruel. Oh, heaven help me! I misspoke. The Lawyer Cribbs has arrived. He is here for the rent, and me without a farthing to my name. Shall I pretend to be away? No, he has no doubt seen the smoke rising from the chimney. He must know I am here. There is nowhere I can hide. I fear I am about to meet my doom. Once more I am compelled to say, alas and alack. I shall look out of the window to ascertain for certain who is at my door. I can see no one upon my threshold. Perhaps it was a tree limb that fell and struck the doorway, or perhaps whoever knocked upon the door has thought better than to torment poor Mettie Bradford, who loves all souls but despises uninvited company. Oh, there it is again. I shall look out of the window one more time before consigning such knocking sounds to the vicissitude of the weather or the declining capacity of poor Mettie's mind. No, not a soul to be found. Oh, what ghostly presence disturbs my previous perturbations? I have but one alternative. I shall open that door and ascertain what manner of disquietude offends poor Mettie Bradford's increasingly distracted meditation. I prepare myself for whatever may come to pass. God save my soul. Oh, dear me! I might have thought that this prescient gale were a blast from the nether regions, save for the dire chill in the air. But I see no one, empty of all but the wind and snow. I shall close the door against the deprecatory elements.
Nay, close not the door. It is I, Rodney Bigelow, a man upon the threshold of death.
I have never heard my doorway referred to in such a grave manner, but perhaps my interlocutor intended to utilize the term threshold in a more phenomenological fashion. Perhaps I should query my visitor, one Rodney Bigelow, as to his intentions. What, pray tell, are you doing down there, Mr. Rodney Bigelow? And why have you come at this hour, and in the midst of this perilous climatic declivity, to disturb my domestic tranquillity?
I am crawling, for I cannot walk, having suffered a dread injury. May I enter the warmth of your abode?
Mr. Rodney Bigelow, you must know that I despise all uninvited guests, even those who proclaim themselves to be near death.
I beg of you, dear lady, me not expire here upon a threshold so near to my salvation. I implore you, with all prayers to the highest heaven, save me from the wicked machinations of evil men and the cruel uncertainties of perfidious nature.
It would indeed trouble my mind to close the door upon a praying man, and one who appears so close to death withal. Mr. Rodney Bigelow, I have consorted with my soul, and have decided, oh, God help me, to permit you to crawl inside my humble abode. Oh, but do crawl quickly, for I fear that the chill devastations of a distemperate thermostatic declination may do us in.
I crawl.
But not fast enough, Mr. Rodney Bigelow. For the fierce wind is nigh to extinguishing the fire in my heart. Without my fire I shall surely perish.
No, I implore you, do not shut me out. For should you do so, imagine the fearful visage you would encounter on the morrow. The face of one Rodney Bigelow, contorted in agony, having frozen to death mere inches from safety. It is an image that would surely haunt your thoughts, your dreams, and your very being, for the balance of your temporal animation.
His words do give me pause. He draws a picture of a visage that, well, even now I cannot wrench from the inner shores of my mind, and yet the cold chills me to the bone.
I beg you, I have nothing to give.
Oh, you poor man. Let me help you inside, where you may feel the healing balm of the blazing hearth fire.
For this relief, much thanks. 'Tis bitter cold, and I am sick at heart.
I have heard such sentiments before, but I have never been disposed to utter such words myself.
'Tis but a small matter. Of greater import is the sharp knife lodged in my back. The one nestled closely upon the nethermost vertebra.
Oh dear me! Now that the snow has turned liquid upon your clothing, the odd protrusion I did notice earlier has indeed become apparent. I see a knife handle glistening wet with melted snow. But the blade, if it does exist at all, is either hidden or non-existent.
Dear lady, I know from my own unfortunate experience the blade is indeed extant. It needs to be extracted at once.
Oh my! Well, what shall I do?
Pull upon the handle with all necessary force. That should free the blade.
Oh dear me! I am reluctant to undertake such an intimate activity. We have, after all, become only so recently acquainted. May you not remove the offending object yourself?
Oh, dear lady, though I have attempted to grasp the gnarled handle of the murderous weapon, alas, I cannot reach the implement. I fear I am growing faint from the cold, the loss of blood, and the fact that I have crawled 3 miles through the dread storm to this, the nearest shelter that Providence and the kindness of a dear stranger could provide. Though I understand and appreciate your uncommon sensibilities, should I continue to retain the whetstone-sharpened blade, I fear I will indeed expire here on your floor, expelling vast amounts of blood in the process.
The effusion of blood is the least of my worries. Recently, I had this floor covered with linoleum. I am of the opinion that all manner of spillage may be readily dispatched from this remarkable floor covering.
Linoleum? Dear lady, might I remind you that we dwell in the late 19th century?
I need no reminder as to my centennial whereabouts. Linoleum was invented during this segment of the millennium by an English man. We have had this wondrous substance installed not 3 months past. Your blood, my dear man, will neither stain the patterns embossed thereon, nor damage the structural underpinnings of this most durable of foot catchers.
I am most pleased to hear of this, as I must needs ask once more that you remove the dread implement that embraces with diabolical intent the lumbar regions of my posterior territories.
I do know that this is your fervent wish, and I confess that I have been engaged in a most intemperate delay in effecting the repair to your nether regions. But I can no longer forestall the necessary ministrations. To wit, I grasp the knife handle with both hands, and I pull with all my force.
I hear a scream. Dear lady, are you well?
Oh, I am very unwell. My dignity has been sorely injured, my composure lost for all time. I fear I shall never be the same. The once despondent Mettie Bradford has been transformed. Her countenance shall forever afterwards display an expression of mingled surprise and mortification. Thus does embarrassment change us all.
Mettie Bradford? Can that be your name?
Oh, it is. Would that I had never spoken it in your presence, for now, having witnessed the loss of my proud reserve, you have learnt of my identity.
Oh, bear it no mind. I neither saw you fall, nor observed any of the indignities attendant upon your awkward and unseemly loss of composure. Though I did hear your wild ejaculation, that sound could easily have been emitted by a low-flying sparrowhawk, and I suggest that we ever after remember it as such.
Your kindness is so welcome to my ears. Mettie Bradford has received so few gestures of approbation that I am indeed moved to tears.
Oh, dear Mettie, your name is such a welcome sound. So very similar to that of my dear, long-lost sister, one Mettie Bradford.
Is this you say? What is the name you have spoken? Oh, say it again. Speak, Mr. Rodney Bigelow.
The name I spoke was that of Mettie Bradford.
Mettie Bradford is my name. That must mean you are my lost brother. But wait, my brother's name was not Rodney Bigelow. You, sir, are an impostor. Out with you. Out into the wild elements where the beasts of the field and the fowls of the air do dwell.
Now, wait, dear sister, aver. My name is Jonathan Bradford, your dear lost brother.
That was my lost brother's name. I am truly confused by your present nomenclature.
Let me explain, but first, would you provide me with a suitable bandage? I appear to be emitting a small fountain of bloody wastage.
Of course, my dear. Thanks, brother. Here is gauze and medical tape.
Why, thank you, but I cannot reach behind me. You must provide the necessary assistance.
Oh, but I have never performed such nursely functions.
And you must learn quickly. Apply the gauze to the wound, then firmly apply the tape to hold the gauze in place.
Oh, there is so much that I must learn. There. Done.
You have learned quickly and accomplished the task excellently well. I feel the healing properties begin to work their effects. Now there is one more need that I have.
Yes, most nearly, brother. What is it?
Well, since first entering your home, I have dwelt to hear upon this linoleum-enhanced floor. May I be assisted to a chair?
Oh, why, of course, dear. Almost found, brother.
There, that is much better. But I must request of you that you satisfy one additional need.
Oh, anything hoped for, brother of mine.
Perhaps you might pour out just a wee dram of brandy, something to dull the pain and promote the quietude of life.
Brandy? Oh, my, no. No, I have none. Nor will I maintain intoxicating liquors in my home ever again. Oh!
Dear me, though I am greatly disappointed that there is no brandy stored within this domicile, I strongly suspect that there is a sad story attached to your maudlin reaction.
Oh, sad, sad, so very sad. 5 years passed. I met and fell in love with a certain William Downton. Oh, we were deeply in love. We married. We were so happy for a time. But then he met and fell in love with another.
Another?
Another. And he left me for the devil.
The devil?
The very same. Oh, the devil is a wily and seductive creature. He called to my dear William, and dear William answered and followed. He has never returned. He forsook all and left hearth and home, crying out, "Whiskey! Whiskey!"
Whiskey? Whiskey?
Yes, whiskey. It is the name of the devil.
Ah, I believe I understand. The demon entered his very being and he became unrecognizable.
My dear William was no more. He was lost before he even left.
Oh, it is a sad, sad tale.
Sadness is the story of Mettie's life.
No doubt it is. But I too have a tale of woe.
Could it possibly be worse than my own?
Oh, I doubt that very much. But my story is filled with tragedy, comedy, tragicomedy, historical, comical, tragical, melodramatical. Do you understand?
I am getting the drift. Oh, no. No, you didn't.
I'm afraid I did, Mettie.
Once again, I am forced to say, alas and alack, to think that a nearly almost brother of mine has done something so vile and degraded. Oh, it is too much. I cannot speak the words.
Then I must. It is, after all, my burden. And we all do things that we are not proud of. Sometimes we hit bottom. When I left our family home, Mettie, I travelled to the big city.
No, I cannot listen. I will not listen.
A great deal of money is involved.
Oh.
When I reached the big city, I resolved to make my fortune. Oh, I'm not proud to say, but I joined a theatrical troupe. I trod the boards of the wicked stage, Mettie. It was a time of degradation and self-loathing, living a lie each day of my life, pretending I was someone I was not, living into the false reality of a life that was nothing but an illusion. We called it verisimilitude, simply to make the deception appear truthful. And then there were those we fooled into believing our manufactured misapprehensions were to be believed. And we made them laugh. We made them cry. We made them stand and cheer. We became so practiced in our artifice that we could shape the thoughts and feelings of hundreds of willing souls, bending them perfectly to our desires. Oh, when I think back upon the perfidious actions I performed during those lost days, leading poor souls into a world of fantasy and errant desires. Oh, that I could ever have done such things.
You poor man.
But that life was extraordinarily lucrative. I made a fortune.
Oh, do tell.
I became adept at stagecraft, skilled in the art of writing dramatic works. My most successful play was called The Evil Lawyer. It was based on the life of one Aloysius Cribbs, and it made me a fortune.
I never knew his name was Aloysius.
The lawyer Cribbs saw the play, recognized himself in the character of the evil lawyer, and became very displeased. He sought me out, bent on my destruction. Several years passed, after which I left the stage and I went into business. I was rich, and I increased my fortune by virtuous labour in the field of haberdashery. I had been redeemed. But then, one day, Aloysius Cribbs found me. That knife, the one you so dexterously removed from my posterior intercellular matrix, is evidence of the lawyer Cribbs' vicious revenge.
And your fortune increased?
It is a massive and unwieldy fortune. I have no idea how large it is. It grows by the day.
By the day.
Listen carefully, you who dwell herein. Open this door immediately, or I shall break it down.
I know that evil voice.
Yes, I know it as well. It is the harsh and malevolent voice of one Aloysius Cribbs, attorney at law. Open this door at once, I say. Open it at once, I say again. You need not say a third time. We shall open it anon.
What are you about, dear, near brother to me? You have not thought this through carefully. Are you truly mindful of who presently stands outside that door? Should he gain entrance, much harm could come to you and I. Much is the harm that has already devolved upon us because of his evil ways.
You are correct, Mettie. But should we leave him outside, he will surely break down the door. That could result in the loss of our fire and perhaps the loss of our lives.
But how will we ever protect ourselves, given your weakened state and my natural womanly reticence?
Oh, you forget, we have a knife.
That is true. The ugly, evil knife of one Aloysius Cribbs, attorney at law, presently resides with us. Unbar the door.
Perhaps there are others who have accompanied Cribbs, Esquire. We dare not admit that evil lawyer Cribbs should he have brought with him loyal lieutenants. What shall we do?
That is an easy question to answer. We shall look out of the window to ascertain who may have darkened our door with the shadow of wickedness. I see only the bearer of the vile, flowing and overlong moustache of the baleful one.
Oh, I know well the deleterious threads that grow upon his labium superius. It can be no other. Stand aside, I shall open the door. Thank you for opening your door to me. So few have had the good sense to do so, and have suffered mightily for their recalcitrance. Have you ever seen a storm like this? Its baneful sounds, its noxious wind, and its deleterious character remind me of my own temperamental proclivities. The storm had warmed my heart, if there were any such organ that ever did beat within my breast. Aloysius Cribbs, attorney at law, we recognize you, who are the incarnation of all that is pernicious, vile, hurtful, and wicked in this world. Oh, they know me. We know you indeed, and we are certain that you have not arrived here to deliver the weather report. You are correct in that, sir. But wait, do I not know you? You know me by the name of Rodney Bigelow. The slanderous playwright? That cannot be. You were done to death yesternight. I saw to it myself.
Murderer!
Attempted murderer? We must be accurate in such things. I am still here. Not for any want of effort on my part. You, who has stabbed me in the back 24 times.
24 times? Oh, dear brother-in-waiting, how did you ever survive?
Well, 23 of those backstabbing incidents were figurative, but no less hurtful. I count 27 figurative and 1 visceral. But we need not quibble about such things. You know why I am here.
We all know why you are here. You, the most flagrantly evil, legalistic scoundrel, one Aloysius Cribbs, attorney at law.
He knows me. You know me. But who are you? You who stands framed by the doorway in so picturesque, stalwart, and, dare I say, heroic silhouette?
Do you not recognize me? Thou treacherous, vile, and heartless blackguard.
He knows everything about me, but I recognize him not.
Still without intelligence, are we? Then let me provide you with the necessary enlightenment.
Before you do, good sir, would you do us the honour of closing the door, lest we all expire before the raging tempest?
I am only too happy to accommodate the needs of the downtrodden. Now then, perhaps you would be reminded as to my identity were I to breathe one word to you.
What word would that be, pray tell?
The word is whiskey.
Dash it all! It is you! William Downton, the bane of my existence.
Oh, dear William, returned to me at last. Oh.
Mettie!
Thank you, stranger, for catching my dear wife. Lay her down gently. She has been known to faint regularly, but the spell lasts, at the most, 2 minutes. As for you, Lawyer Cribbs, it is out into the storm with you.
Not until I receive what I have come for. The rent is due.
And again, the rent is due. And me without a farthing.
Here is money. Plenty of money. Take it and go.
Here is money, plenty of money. Take it and go.
Thank you. I am indeed grateful for your generosity, but do I not espy my knife? Here, villainous one. Take it and go.
Dear, distracted, very near, but not quite, brother. Is it wise to return the deadly weapon, the one that so nearly ended your temporal existence, to the most evil, vile, and utterly despicable one?
It is no matter, for I have in my hand a Colt 45.
Ah, the gun that tamed the West.
Oh, my hero!
Curses on the lot of you. I have what I came for and then some. It is out into the evil storm with me. Evil meets evil once again.
Not to worry. He shall never darken our door again.
Oh, William, dear William, you have returned at last. But you look so different, so transformed.
Yes, Mettie, dearest, I have been transported, altered beyond recognition. It all began when, after the most assiduous and bitter struggle, I overcame my dread infatuation with the demon rum.
Rum? But I thought you had become captive of the devilish liquor called whiskey.
I believe dear William is using the phrase demon rum as a metaphoric description for all intoxicating spirits.
That is correct.
Oh, I have so much to learn.
This stranger appears knowledgeable in the ways of the world. What, pray tell, is your name?
I am known as Rodney Bigelow.
Rodney Bigelow, the renowned actor, the one who has captivated audiences from New York to the frontier of Kansas?
The very same.
I saw your performance of The Evil Lawyer last year in Kansas City. It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Why, thank you. Did you enjoy the performance?
Immensely. You are a true talent. One of the finest actors I have ever seen.
I appreciate that very much. Perhaps we might discuss this further over dinner, once this violent storm has passed.
Why, I believe the storm has indeed passed over. See, the sun is breaking through. Oh, poor Mettie Bradford is not so poor anymore. Now that she has the sun.
Mettie, you will never be poor again. Once I had overcome my foolish obsession with the spiritus fermenti, I went into business, railroads. I made a fortune, Mettie. We are rich.
Oh my, what shall I ever do? This is nearly too much for Mettie's poor heart to handle. My husband returned, and with a fortune. Rodney Bigelow also has a fortune, which he made treading the boards of the wicked stage, and also haberdashery, and he may also be my brother.
How can this be?
Through the tragic vicissitudes of life, my sister and I were separated long ago. My name is Jonathan Bradford, Rodney Bigelow being my stage name.
As you know, dear William, Mehittable Bradford is my name. Mettie being my nickname. It is all coincidence, of course, because we cannot know for certain.
Perhaps I might help solve the puzzle. During the time I was busily acquiring my fortune, I met a famed genealogist. We spent many pleasant hours discussing the lineages of disparate families and their ancestry. I mentioned that my dear wife was a Bradford. He confessed that he knew many Bradfords and presented me with a daguerreotype, this being the 19th century. Here it is. I believe you will recognize the 4 personages whose images appear thereupon.
Why, there is dear Mamma and dear Papa.
And there you are, Mettie.
And there you are, Jonathan. Oh, this proves with absolute certainty that you are not my near brother. You are my very true and only dear brother Jonathan. Oh, this day, a day that began with such a gloomy pallor of wickedness, climatic devastation, and human degradation, has ended in ebullient happiness. A husband returned and restored to vigorous health, a lost brother found, and both possessed of uncountable riches. What can I possibly do with such a profusion of wealth, familial affection, and sunny good fortune? Oh, Mettie Bradford has so much to learn. You have been listening to A Melodramatic Tale, featuring Brianda Cross as Mettie, Toby Chittenden as Rodney Bigelow and Aloysius Cribbs, and Jake Hollingworth as William Downton. The play was written by Brian Marsh and produced by Brianda Cross. If you have enjoyed this audio production, you may like to visit www.fastfictionpodcast.com to find other audio plays. In particular, try That Bruckner Evening, also by Brian Marsh. In the meantime, thank you for listening, and please think about giving us a review. Bye for now.